Now, for number 11. Number 11, we can tell that all three of our terms can be divided by 2. We cannot divide each of our terms by anything greater than 2. So our greatest common factor is going to be 2. Our 2 comes out of each of our terms. So we have a 10x squared divided by 2, which gives us 5x squared. Then we have a plus a 19x. Then we have minus 4. Now within our parentheses, we want to factor. When we factor this, because we do have our a that equals greater than 1 or other than 1, we're going to use our big X method to find our magic numbers. So we have 5 times negative 4, which gives us our product, which is negative 20. And our sum, or our b, is 19. So our 2 magic numbers are going to be 20 times 1. And to get this 19 and to get this negative 20, we want our 1 to be negative, because 20 subtract 1 is 19, and 20 times negative 1 gives us negative 20. So when we write this out using our magic numbers, we're going to have 5x squared minus 1x plus 20x minus 4. Now we can group it. Once we group it, in our first parentheses, or our first group, we want to find the greatest common factor. Our greatest common factor is 1x. And we're going to divide it just like we did over here. So we have 5x squared divided by 5, which is just 5x. We have negative x divided by x, which is just negative 1. Now in the second group, our greatest common factor is this 4. So we're going to bring out our 4. We have 20x divided by 4, which is 5x. We have negative 4 divided by 4, which is negative 1. Now it is not a coincidence that these are repeating parentheses. If you do not get a repeating parentheses, that you have done something wrong. The first thing you need to try to fix, if there is not repeating parentheses, is the order of your magic numbers. If you had put positive 20 here and then negative 1 over here, you would have not gotten repeating parentheses. So to condense this down into our factored form, we're first going to take our repeating parentheses and bring it into 1. Then we're also going to bring our greatest common factors that went on the outside and create their own parentheses. And then that is our factored form. Now for number 12. Number 12, again, is very similar. We want to make sure that there is no greatest common factor. So we have 21, 73, and 56. Pause the video to see if you can find a greatest common factor. In this one, there's no greatest common factor. So we jump to the big X method to begin with. So we have our A times our C to get our product, which is 1,176. And our product, or our sum, or our B, is 73. So our 2 magic numbers have to be 24 and 49. So to expand our original trinomial, we want to make it 4 terms. So 21x squared. And then again, unless you can look at this and see what can go into that 21, And what can easily give you a greatest common factor, you kind of have to guess and check which one goes up with which term. So I'm going to put 24x first, and then the 49. So now we can group it. So the greatest common factor of 21 and 24 is 3. But also both terms have an x. So both of the x's are going to come out. And we have 3x as our total greatest common factor. So 21x squared divided by 3x gives us a 7x. And then 24x divided by 3x gives us positive 8. Now in the second parentheses, our greatest common factor is 7. This one does not have a greatest common factor that includes an x because both terms does not have an x. And then in our parentheses, we are left with 49x divided by 7, which is 3x. Then we have 56 divided by 7, which gives us 8. We do have repeating parentheses, so it checks out for our order. So we're going to bring it down into one parentheses. And then our greatest common factors that were on the outside of our parentheses that come together to create their own parentheses. And that becomes our factored form.